Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I kind of want to do a chit chat get ready with me. It's Sunday night, I'm getting ready to go into work, which means I'm gonna have to do something fairly neutral, but I'm actually kind of nervous to do this because usually like I kind of leave my chit chat to a little bit when I'm filming, and especially when I'm doing my makeup because I have to concentrate. I've gotten a lot of questions from some of my friends that watch my videos and they're like, why don't you talk about what you do as a job, because you bring it up but then you don't say what you do. So I'm kind of going to touch on that today. If you do end up having any questions, make sure to leave that in the comment section down below, but by no means am I saying you have to go do what I do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start on my makeup and see how this goes. All right, so I've already done my eyebrows. I usually do those off camera just because I have the hardest time. They are not like, they look like they're even right now, but I have really blonde hairs right through here. My hair is actually really dark. It's auburn naturally, but I don't know how I ended up with blonde eyebrows. And some of them are brown, but most of them are blonde. So it's just really weird. I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. This is in the color medium brown. I'm going to go ahead and prime my face. I'm going to use the Mercier Foundation Primer Radiance. I had just got this in a little like trial sample thing from Sephora when I did my Sephora haul, which I'll link that video up above. Make sure to go check it out if you like those types of videos. It was my first one that I'd ever done. I mean, I'm fairly new to YouTube. I think I've only got 28 videos up right now. That was another question that I got. Why YouTube? Why now? Like, you have a full-time job, why would you want to add more pressure or stress to yourself? We'll answer that question on the back end. The biggest thing is, what is my everyday job? All right, so I am actually in the United States Navy. I am a sailor. I love my job. I love what I do. I love serving our country. One thing I will say, I'm not going to talk about politics on my channel. I'm not going to say you need to join, you need to do your part. That's not why I'm talking about this. It makes it easier when I'm like, oh, this is what I do. But I don't want to deter anyone from subscribing or following me or watching my channel. I'm here for makeup. That's my biggest thing, is makeup, because I have so much fun with it. But like I said, I am a sailor. I have been in for 14.5 years. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Foundation. This is in the shade 200. Like I said, I already did my eyebrows. I do like to carve them out a little bit, so I take a concealer brush. This is the MAC 194. I put a little bit of my foundation on there. I draw them at the top. Just kind of trace them out. Wow, I really messed that one up. See, this is why I don't talk with my videos. And I just feather it out so that there's not like a super harsh line, but it cleans them up a little bit. So I'm going to do the rest of my foundation on the It brushes for Ulta. This is the Love is the Foundation. I love this brush. They do it, I think annually, where the proceeds from this brush actually go towards breast cancer, which I love that idea. And I just go and stamp it out. All right, so like I said, I've been in the Navy for 14.5 years. I am what we call an operations specialist, so I deal with radar. And I also control aircraft, which I love. I 100% love that part of my job. The biggest thing, because I said that I am currently living in Chicago, I am currently a drill instructor at boot camp, or we call them recruit division commanders. The job as a drill instructor I volunteered for. I was actually stationed over in Japan with my husband, and he wanted to come back stateside because he'd never been away from his family for so long, because we lived over there for 3 years. And I told him, I said, if we're coming back stateside, because I still had time for sea duty, because we have what we call seashore rotations. I was still required to be at sea for 2 years. But as soon as I volunteered to be a drill instructor, they waived those last 2 years and sent me to Great Lakes to be a drill instructor. I mean, that kind of gives you a basis of what I do right now. I've been stationed overseas 2 different times, and I volunteered both times. I lived in Yokosuka, Japan. It's an hour south of Tokyo, roughly, by train. And I love Japan. It was amazing. I did some great deployments out of there. And if you don't want to hear about my job or anything, but you just want to see the makeup, go ahead, mute me, turn music on. That's great. I'm 100% okay with that. Military speak is not for everybody. And that's why I don't talk about it on my channel, just because I'm not forcing it on anyone. I will say that I like the Navy for the fact that I do get to travel, and I have, from Japan, I've been on quite a few deployments, but those deployments have taken me to some great countries. I've been to Australia, the Philippines, to South Korea, Singapore, Indonesia. I know there's more. I can't remember all of them. I actually have an app that, like, I put in where I've been and all that for concealer. I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape in the color Fair Neutral.
Our souls begin to intertwine. Your heart of gold,
Beauty Blender.
so pure, divine, and I.
But besides Japan, I have been stationed in Virginia, which you ask a lot of people and they're like, oh, Virginia, ew. I actually like Virginia. I don't know if they don't like it because of the traffic, which, yes, traffic freaking sucks in Virginia when it gets to be about around Norfolk. I can never, like, I always get corrected when it comes time to saying Norfolk. I think it's kind of with an I, not an O. I try. It is what it is. So traffic is really bad around Norfolk, especially if you're trying to get through Hampton. It just kind of sucks. I like it. There's so much to do. I mean, you're not too far from Washington, D.C. I can take the train to go see my sister in New York. We'll go camping. We go down to North Carolina. There's so much to do. Snowboarding in West Virginia. And that's the thing is, if you're in port, if your ship's not underway, you have all kinds of free time. If you're not on duty, if it's not a work day and you've got the weekend, go explore the area, go camping. But I will say the best thing that I have gotten from the Navy, one, I have met some of my best friends in the military. I still have my girlfriends from high school. That will never change. They've been there for a lot of crazy, stupid things that I did in high school, because let's face it, we've all done our fair share of stupid things. My friends that I've met in the Navy, I mean, some of them were my bridesmaids at my wedding. And they're just, like I tell my recruits now, the people that you serve with in boot camp, on ships, they're now a part of your family. They're just an extended part. You've got to look out for each other. For setting powder, I'm going to be using the Viseart setting powder. This is a translucent. I don't actually see a lot of people talk about it. I really like it because it kind of just smooths out my face. And then the other cool thing is it has a stopper. So, and with this netting, so it doesn't fluff everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and use my beauty blender for this.
Lost myself within the fire, breaking free.
Oh yeah, I didn't say anything about it. I have a new backdrop. My husband was nice enough to help. I helped him put up some shelves, and then I just grabbed some of the items that I had around the house that, I mean, I've got bookshelves and shelves and full of stuff. So I just brought them down here to make it a little more homey and not just a bare wall. Alright, so for contour, I'm going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Waterproof Bronzer in Park Avenue Princess. This is one of my favorites.
From my desire, a heart of gold forged to.
A little difficult to talk doing contour because you kind of need to know where the divot is. So I just bring it to about right here. Because if you bring it all the way to the mouth, which I've made the mistake one day and I accidentally did it, and I was like, what did I do? I was not paying attention. I just kind of stamp it in and then blend it out. And I blend up because I want the line to be right here. One thing that I did purchase behind me is this Be a Pineapple Stand Tall Wear Crown and Be Sweet. I had, it's over right here. I had this little pineapple guy. He was a candle and I used the candle. I was like, I really like that. So I just, when I was at TJ Maxx Home Goods, I found that picture and I was like, that will be perfect. So that is the only thing I purchased to be like in my backdrop. Everything else I had around the house, little knickknacks that my grandmother's given me or that I bought when I've gone antiquing with her. Just stuff that makes me remember my grandmother. No, she's not dead. I love her to death. She lives about 3 hours from here. But I just don't get to see her as much as I want to. It's another reason that we chose to come to Chicago. I'm originally from Michigan. My dad's down in Indiana. I haven't lived this close to my family in 12 and a half years. So I've always been in Virginia or Japan. And this time I got to be close. So I spend more time with my family on the weekends. I go and do stuff, especially for the holidays right now. There's so much going on. I was just down in Indiana last weekend. I'm so excited to be back, like 1 stateside and 2 close to family. So for blush, I'm going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the color Concept. I really like this blush. This is one of my favorites. It's just a kind of a peachy color. Kind of gives that your cheeks a little bit of a flush. Another question that I got was why I joined. I was in high school during 9/11 and I remember sitting in class and my teacher was my drafting class. He had been prior military and we actually stopped class that day and sat and watched the news in every single one of my classes after that. There was no talking. There was just in awe of what was going on. I had every intention of going to college when I got out of school. I was going to go to a local community college, and then once I'd gotten my basics out of the way, I was going to go to a university up either in Central Florida or, explore my options. But because I did grow up in Florida, I grew up down in Sarasota, Bradenton area. But when I got out of school, and I think it was like a week after I graduated, I was like, I don't want to go to school anymore. I don't want to sit in a classroom. And one of my friends, we were all out bowling. One of my friends had joined and he came in to the bowling alley to say goodbye because he was getting ready to go up to MEPS, which is the Military Entrance Processing Station, which was in Tampa, about an hour from us. He was going up there that night and then was leaving for the Navy the next day. So for eyeshadow primer, I'm using my Too Faced Shadow Insurance 24 Plus Hour Anti-Crease Eyeshadow Primer. Most loved. So he came in and he's like, hey, I'm leaving. And we didn't even know that he was going into the military. It was actually a surprise to all of us. We were just like, wait, what? And he was processed and intaked in a week and had his job and everything, which sometime back then you could leave that amount of time because they needed people. Every branch was recruiting and we were at war. He had came in and I was like, oh, wow. He was talking about it and everything. I knew that my aunt had been in when I was younger and I really looked up to her, but at the time that wasn't what I wanted to do. She was a hospital corpsman, so she did the medical field while she was in. But I didn't know exactly what the military had to offer. It wasn't anything I'd looked into. I didn't even do my entrance test to find out what my score would be, if I could even get into the military when I was in high school. All right, so for eyes because I had to keep it neutral. I actually have the brown sugar, I cannot say her name. I think it's Karrueche X ColourPop. It's a pressed powder palette. It's a really pretty package, and the colors in this palette are beautiful. Okay, so this is the brown sugar palette. It is really pretty. It's a brown glittery packaging, and then when you open it up, it has a mirror, and then there are these 9 beautiful colors. I haven't played with this yet. I'm really excited to try them out. All right, so I'm gonna go in with the color Chai. I'm gonna put this all over the eye and just kind of set my eyeshadow primer. So after he left, I went into the recruiter's office and I just kind of wanted to know like what exactly it was all about. Like when my aunt was in, we weren't at a time of war. Like she was stationed in Great Lakes in Florida and she was home all the time. So I really didn't know. The next color I'm going to go into is Jamocha. I'm going to put this in the crease and the outside corner. I went and I talked to the recruiter and took the ASVAB, which is the test that tells you like what you would technically be good at. Like, are you meant to be an engineer? Are you meant to be doing radar? Are you like supposed to be a cook? Like, what would you be good at? And I had been, once I did the ASVAB up at the MEP station in Tampa, they gave me a couple. They didn't give me a lot of jobs. They just gave me a couple. I think, so they originally had given me like engineer and I was like, I don't want to work on engines. Like I had friends who worked on cars and I liked hanging out with those friends, but I didn't want to be, I guess, a grease monkey type. And if you're talking about engines, you're talking about a ship engine, not like a car or a truck. And I was just like, oh, I don't necessarily know that that's what I wanted to do. Well, one of the other ones that they had offered me was corpsman, which was what my aunt was. And I was like, you know what? I can do that. My grandmother was, she's a retired psychiatric nurse. My aunt had been a corpsman. My stepmom, she was in the nursing field. My grandmother on my dad's side, she was a nurse. So I was like, medical, it runs in the family. Cool. Like this sounds like a good idea. And I did it. And at the time they had enlistment bonuses for corpsmen. They needed them. The other thing was when I went home and I told my family, my mom, she tried to join with me. My recruiter was like, yeah, sure, we can give you a waiver. No. So needless to say, she did not go in with me. I was not having it. And then when I told my dad, we were at war. So he was like, no, just move to Indiana. I'll pay for you to go to college. I was like, nope. Mind you, I rebelled against everything my parents had ever wanted for me. Like they said, hey, you need to do this. I did the opposite. My mom wanted me to be a cheerleader. I didn't do any school sports. I'm going to go in with the color Sorrel. I'm going to put this in the outside corner just to deepen it up a little bit. When I came in, or when I talked to their detailer type, they tell you what your job can be. And he told me, corpsman, that's what I originally took. Like I said, I deal with radar right now. That's what I originally took. And then there was a family incident where I needed to inject my grandmother because she's diabetic. And that was when I realized, one, it's the scariest thing to have to inject somebody when you've never injected a needle before. And we were on a family trip for a cousin's wedding, and it was just her and I. And I had to call my aunt, and she had to talk me through what to do, how to test my grandmother's blood, how to inject insulin without killing her, giving her too much insulin based off of her blood sugar. And it was the scariest thing I'd ever done. But as soon as I got home, because my grandmother ended up in the hospital when we were in Vegas, and my aunt is like, you need to go home. You're not old enough to deal with all of this. I think I was 18. She's like, you need to go home. I will fly out and be with her, but you're not old enough to just stay in Vegas by yourself. And I agreed. I was very scared. And as soon as I got home and I had time to process and think about it, I went into the recruiter's office and I told him, I said, look, this is the deal. This is what just happened. And there is no way that I can be a corpsman. I had a hard enough time trying to inject my grandmother. I would hate to inject somebody and do it wrong. And at that point I just told him, I said, I need a different job. That's the only way you're going to get me to go in. And he understood. He took me to the MEP station the following week to reclassify. That's how you get a new job. It's because we call it a classification. The next color I'm going to take is the color Auburn. I'm going to put this in the middle of my eyelid. So I went back in, I talked to the guy that was in charge of giving us new jobs. And he told me that he had operations specialist, which is what I do now. Deal with radar, tracking and navigating ships, aircraft. And I also, like I said, I control aircraft, jets specifically. But I really like my job. I really enjoy what I do. I enjoy working with the people that I work with. I mean, there's bound to be people that you don't enjoy working with. If there's somebody that I don't like working with, that at some point, being at that place that I am at, either they're going to transfer and go somewhere else, or I'm going to transfer and go somewhere else. Whereas if I had a civilian job, that's not necessarily the case. You might work with the same miserable person for 30, 40, 50 years until one of you quits or retires. And then even then, there's still no guarantee that you can retire, which is the next thing. All right, so the next color I'm going to take is the color Ginger. It's kind of a shimmery champagne color. I'm just going to put this on the inside corner. All right, so you guys know that I usually like to finger paint my shimmery colors, but these are actually going on really well with a brush. But the other reason that I've stayed in for as long as I have,
On this journey we will find.
I'll end up retiring at 20 years of naval service. I'll get to retire, which means because I joined at the age of 18, I will retire at the age of 38. Which means I can still go and get another job. I'm still young at that point. Like, I'm not that far from retirement. Like, I still am active. I go and run and work out, and I do 5Ks with friends. I enjoy it. All right, and the last color that I'm going to take is this color Chalk. I'm going to put this in the outside corner, just darken it up a little bit, not too much. It's kind of a reddish color, so I'm just not.
Our souls begin to intertwine. Your heart of gold so pure.
I'm just putting this on the outside corner and up into the crease a little bit just to knock out some of that shimmer.
Divine and I.
Now, when I go to work, I don't do much underneath my eye. Whatever fallout I had that swept over here, I leave that there. I feel like this video is all over the place because I can't keep track of what I'm talking about because I'm also doing my makeup. So I'm sorry for that, but maybe this explains a little bit more of what I do. I am going to go ahead and do my eyeliner, and then I'll be right back to do mascara. All right, so I did go ahead and do my eyeliner. So for my waterline, I use the No-tug Waterproof Anti-Aging Gel Eyeliner. I really like this. I was given a sample of it when I bought a new It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, which I really like that mascara. So I wanted to try out that gel eyeliner. And for my eyeliner on top, I used my Kat Von D ink liner in Trooper Black because you know that I love this eyeliner. You know what I just realized? I didn't bronze my forehead. All right, like I said, this is all over the place. I can't concentrate when I'm trying to have a conversation. This is why most of mine are let's speed up and just get through this. So go back in with Tarte Park Avenue Princess and my big fluffy, this is the It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Wand Ball Powder number 8. I love this brush. It is like for everything. So like I said, the other question that I had was why YouTube and why now? Why this platform? I know that, like I've said it in a couple of my videos, I love makeup. I love playing with it. I love seeing what I can create with it, especially because my everyday makeup is, I mean, it's not boring. My makeup is not boring by any means. I can do neutral, no problem. I mean, I love this eye look. It's about as, I mean, it's not as neutral as I can get. I usually, when I have super early mornings, will just put highlighter all over my eye, and that is as good as eyeshadow. I feel like I'm doing my makeup anyways, and I've got friends who ask me, how'd you do your makeup? What products did you use? How do I do the same? Like, if I use the same products, am I going to get the same results? How do I do it? Can you show me how to do it? And I'm like, you know what? I've got a camera. I'm going to do my makeup anyways. Why don't I just sit in front of the camera? I'll turn the camera on and I will film it. I will edit it, which took a minute to learn how. And even my first video, like, I was super nervous. I talk in front of people every single day. I am up in front of recruits. I'm talking to my peers. I'm instructing. Like, that is my everyday job. It is 100% different trying to get in front of a camera, have a conversation when there is nobody there. My first one was my first couple videos are super awkward. This, I think, is like the 34th video that I filmed, but I only have 28 videos up, and it is so different because I had to imagine there's a person there, and I mean, you're there watching the video, but you're not in my room with me when I'm doing this. I just tell myself that you're there, you're listening. I appreciate the people that do subscribe and follow and watch my videos. I 100% appreciate it. I mean, I've gotten some reassuring comments, and I love those. It makes my day, and it just lets me know that I should keep doing this. All right, so for mascara, I'm going to be using my It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, which I just talked about, so I figured I might as well use it. The people that I do have that were asking me about makeup and how I do my makeup and how I pick the right colors or how I get my eyeshadow to stay, they legit follow. And one of them is a friend from high school, and whenever I go and see her, like, I'll do her makeup or I'll sit there and watch her do her makeup and make suggestions, and she feels more confident in doing her makeup. Like, for me, makeup makes me feel better. Like, I just feel naked without it. I've gone into work with no makeup, no problem. I just feel like I look tired.
From my desire, a heart of gold forged to inspire. It's starfire.
I do my job because I love it. I do YouTube because, one, it's a new outlet. It's something different. It's really easy to get stuck in a rut and be stagnant and be like, okay, I need something new. I've got plenty of hobbies, but I'm going to do my makeup every single day. I might as well have fun doing it. I can turn the camera on. I can picture or imagine that there is someone on the other side that's going to watch my videos, going to relate, have fun doing the same makeup look. I mean, you don't have to use the same makeup that I used, but if you can get the same look or get the same concept of it and you enjoy what I've posted, I appreciate it. I appreciate you following, subscribing, sharing, liking, all of that. So that kind of explains my job and why I started YouTube. If you have more questions, ask them in the comment section. I will either respond in the comment section or I will talk about it in the next video. All right, and so before I go ahead and do my lips, I'm gonna do my setting spray. I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is by far one of my favorites. I took the travel size on vacation with me, and even in the super humid weather of the Caribbean, it was a lifesaver. Just because I wanted to stay all night. So for my eyes, I use the Brown Sugar palette. I do have a Luxe lipstick from the Brown Sugar line. This is in the color Brick. I can't wear this to work. It is really dark. I'm not going to line my lips because I am going to have to take this off to go into work because it's not neutral. And I want to use it. It's so pretty. I wish I could wear a color like this to work. I really like this color. I will tell you guys, I actually have a difficult time putting on my lipstick, and I do have to overdraw on this side, this side, just because, and you probably have never noticed it before. That's usually how it works. You don't notice it until somebody says it. My lips they're not necessarily proportioned. For me, that is not a big deal. But I actually had double jaw surgery just around 7 years ago. But I had double jaw surgery because I had TMJ. So if you want to hear about that story, put it in the comment section or like this video, and I will do a chit chatty get ready with me talking about my double jaw surgery. That is definitely an interesting, different type of topic. But if it's something that you guys want to see and you like this video, I will do a get ready with me talking about that. And I'm not sure I want to put pictures of before and after surgery. I have a post-op picture and like the 2 weeks after of like when I was really super swollen, that like the one in the hospital that my sister-in-law took, I look like the Joker, like Heath Ledger's Joker right after surgery. So, or maybe like the Crow, because my eyeliner was still on and like, oh my gosh. We'll let you guys be the judge. If you like this video, if you put it in the comments section, I will do a video talking about that. I'm glad I did have this surgery. It wasn't elective. It was painful when my jaw would lock, or TMJ is lock jaw. So it wasn't elective. The Navy paid for it. But I needed it, and it got worse every single year. All right, so I also have a gloss. This is the Brown Sugar Ultra Glossy Lip in the color Blowzy. It is stunning. Just, it's like a corally pink color. Oh, I'm so excited. This just made my lips so juicy looking. So pretty. That's the other thing is, this lip right here, when I put these two together, and it's just on this side, it will actually run my lipstick up. That's why I don't like rub them vigorously together. So like I said, like this video, and I will do a chit chat talking about TMJ or lockjaw, whatever you want to call it. Well, you guys, that's it for this video, talking about my job in the military, why I started my YouTube, and then random topic, having TMJ and doing the double jaw surgery for it. So if you like this video, if you like this chatty type of get ready with me, make sure to subscribe down below. Click on the bell icon for notifications to new videos, which are Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And then if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up so that I know that you like this video, and I will continue on with these types and like it because I will do a video on my double jaw surgery for TMJ. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye you guys.